Okay, in this we're going to do the enharmonic respelling of the augmented chord. When you invert the augmented chord, it's still, literally the same chord, but you could spell this many different ways, and it occurs in many different keys. Many different scales, you'll find it. For instance, in harmonic minor, mixolydian flat 6, stuff like that, you'll find this chord. So we'll go through that, and just common resolutions we'll use mostly to this chord. So let's take the shape of starting on C. Now if you invert it, it's still the same chord, okay? But it can be respelled differently, okay? So that would be, that can also be an A flat. I've spelled them down there different ways, but that could also be an A flat augmented, which would be, and here's the other thing. There's truthfully only 4 ways you can create an augmented chord before it just repeats. See, we've repeated 4 ways, 4 times, and this is a different topic, but these are just inversions, but you can respell them, and they occur naturally in different keys often. So now here's the resolutions, and I wrote them out down there for you. F minor, F major, A minor, A minor, A minor, A major, C sharp minor, or C sharp major, or you could call it D sharp minor, D sharp major, but we're not going to get into that. Okay. So any augmented chord, you could use that same procedure to resolve it. Okay. You'll notice that it occurs naturally in the harmonic minor, the same chord, and F harmonic minor, A harmonic minor, and C sharp harmonic minor. So it's the same chord respelled. So let's take 2 of these resolutions. Let's take A minor and the same chord respelled, also resolved to F. So we'll go to A minor to F major. So using those resolutions written below, it's enharmonically a different chord in 2 keys. So let's go from either F to F minor instead, from A minor. And now this is a common chord between the 2. Back to A minor, using the same respelled and harmonically respelled augmented chord. Okay, actually what we're going to do, we're going to go through all the resolutions to all the possible minor keys, okay? Just that, like we have written below. We'll just modulate in between them. And ironically, they're a chromatic median apart. So augmented chord in A minor, now F minor. Augmented chord, C sharp minor. Okay, so you can modulate between all 3 of those keys really easy. So let's do something like this. Let's go a different direction. So we know by the chart below, you can resolve to a major or minor chord. So let's use mixolydian flat 6 and then change that to maybe D mixolydian flat 6, okay? Using the augmented chord that's common, that's in those scales as our pivot. Augmented chord, D mixolydian flat 6. Augmented chord, F sharp mixolydian flat 6, or B minor, whichever one you want to say. So I used it 3 times. I didn't plan that out. I just kind of did it. So this is what's going on. Now that would normally go to so there's another trick. You could actually go to the 5 chord with an augmented chord and related and a different keys, and it's 3 chord of B minor. So mixolydian flat 6 twice on the D, and then F sharp mixolydian flat 6. Or you could consider it B minor if you want. That's not the point. That is the chord is common between all 3 of those scales that I used. Technically, I would actually call that A mixolydian flat 6, D mixolydian flat 6, and then F sharp mixolydian flat 6, and they all have the common augmented chord on the 6th degree. So this is not about learning new scales. This is about the augmented chord and showing you how to pivot. So in the case of that, you don't always have to go to immediately go to the chord you resolve to. You could actually, like in mixolydian flat 6, you could go to the augmented chord that's on the 6th degree and to the 1 chord. So if it's common in between the 2, you could do that move as well, and it works out very nice, as we saw. So what I would do is I'd just learn the resolutions I have stuck up on here first, and then maybe start experimenting with other scales and whatnot. And that's probably for a completely different episode of, this chord's also common in unique modes like mixolydian flat 6. But first take, like A harmonic minor. The 3 chord is an augmented chord, but respelled, it's the 3 chord in F minor, and respelled again, it's the 3 chord in C sharp minor. So there you go. It's the same chord respelled, enharmonic.